Should I roll over my old 401k or leave it where it is? It's a really common question that most Americans and most people have when they change jobs for any reason, whether it's new opportunities or retirement. So today we're going to take a look at three different options that most people consider and the pros and cons of each of them. This is a common question that people have because on average, people change jobs 12 times throughout their working career. And as a result, there are studies where millions of old 401ks are basically forgotten about. And so those are called orphan 401ks. So let's go back to those three choices that we have. We have the first choice, which is you can leave your money right where it is. So leave 401k in place. The second choice, which we'll talk about as well, obviously, is going to be to roll over to an IRA or an individual retirement account. And we have the third choice, which is to move it to a new plan, your new retirement plan with your new employer. So let's start with the first things first. We'll start with just leaving the 401k in place. As the name implies, just leaving it alone makes it the easiest option. So that's a benefit, is very simple, very easy to do. On the flip side of that, it also makes it a little bit more difficult to manage because now it's out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people. So you're at a new company, you're putting money into your new plan, you're not thinking about what the money in your old plan is doing. So for a lot of people, while yes, it's the easy choice because you've started a new job and you've got new responsibilities, new bosses, and people to answer to, but it also creates this issue where you've just totally forgotten about it because you're on to bigger and better opportunities. Maybe they have a really strong menu of investment options, better choices than the new company offers, and so you might want to leave it for that reason. But what we tend to see more of is that people actually would prefer, once they leave an employer, they like to take it with them. That way it's in front of them where they're at, or it's in front of them in their financial housekeeping that they're doing. When they look at their accounts, they see it. Option two is you can roll it over into an individual retirement account or IRA. And this is what we see as being fairly common because people, as Americans, we like options and we like flexibility. So when you roll over a 401k into an IRA, you're moving that money from a 401k, pre-tax, Roth dollars, whatever it is. You're going to just take that, keep the same tax wrapper around it. You're just moving it into an account that is an individual retirement account. And now because it's not part of the 401k plan, the investments don't have to be suitable for you and every other person in your company. They just need to be whatever you want them to be. And the government says, it's an IRA, it's your responsibility, you do with it what you will. So you can do individual bonds, individual CDs, individual stocks. You can do options, futures. You have every investment that is of interest to you at your fingertips in an IRA, which is why a lot of people really like to utilize them. Another reason is that, like we mentioned previously, if you change your job 12 times in your career, that's a lot of moving of 401ks. So the IRA gives you the opportunity to start to consolidate those. So you have your current 401k where you're currently working, and you have your IRA, which is a consolidation of all your prior employers. That's two accounts to keep track of. That really helps with the mental accounting of where's my money at? What's my money doing? What am I invested in? So those are some of the benefits that we see for people experience when they roll money over into an IRA. All that freedom and that flexibility comes with a bit of a cost, and that cost is there's no guardrails anymore. There's not like 6 mutual funds inside of the 401k plan that you have to pick from. So now you have to start to think about really what you're investing in, the different risks that you're taking, and what your money is doing. And no one's going to be there to call you and say, hey, have you looked at your plan recently? Have you looked at your investments? And so that's where utilizing a financial advisor or some kind of a professional to help oversee makes a lot of sense. Or if you're just naturally inclined to it, it might be a great way for you to keep track of your money and be more focused and specific about what your dollars are doing for you. Lastly, you also have the option to roll it over into your new employer's 401k plan. Now, this also has the benefit of consolidating. So you take all that old money that's sitting there and you put it into your new 401k plan, which is certainly an option that you have. You are limited to that plan's investment lineup, which may limit your choices about what you can invest in, because you might have only 12 different mutual funds or maybe some target date mutual funds, but you might want to participate in some particular sector. So technology lately has been very hot. Maybe you want to be more in technology. Maybe you have different ESG or faith-focused types of goals you want to have your money doing. And so you may want to consider something where you have the flexibility to have your money work for you in a way that aligns with your values. When you move it into a new plan, the rollover specifically, that's all money that you've already got vested. It's all yours. So once you move it into the plan, it's still 100% your money. So it doesn't become subject to your new company's vesting schedule or whatever comes along with whatever restrictions your new 401k plan has. Your old 401k money, it's yours. Even in the 401k that you've rolled it into, still yours, still accounted for separately. You just have all your money in one place. That is a reason that it might be appealing to move into the 401k. And then another reason that you might find keeping your money in a 401k has some benefits is even though the money is taxed the same in a 401k is in an IRA, which is it's deferred until you take it out, comes out pre-tax if it's a traditional pre-tax money, or if it's Roth money, it goes in after tax and grows tax deferred. One benefit of 401ks is that they do offer additional protections from creditors that you don't necessarily get with an IRA. So that may not be a huge consideration for a lot of Americans, but for some Americans, having that additional protection from creditors may be a reason to keep your money in a 401k plan and not in an IRA. So if we think about this top down, we have two choices. One, it stays in a 401k plan. Two, we move it to an IRA. In a 401k plan, you have limited choices. You also have additional protection from creditors. You potentially may have loan provisions or whatever benefits you have associated with your particular retirement plan. Flip side, IRAs, individual retirement accounts, offer you a much deeper lineup of investment options, basically the entire universe of what's available to you, because it only matters what you want to invest in. It also gives you the option to invest in a value-oriented approach, which may help you out with potential diversification options. Fees are going to vary plan to plan, custodian and advisor to advisor. Fees may be lower with the 401k. They might be lower with your financial advisor. It just depends on the particular fee structure that you find yourself in on either side of those equations. Those are the three main options. Leave it alone, roll it to an IRA, move it to your new 401k. The last thing we want to point out is that we're talking about the differences between retirement vehicles and moving money between two different retirement vehicles with the same taxation. So the biggest risk that people would face is inadvertently, for some reason, taking a distribution from a retirement vehicle, whether that's a 401k or an IRA. A distribution is when you take money out and it goes to your checking account and you take it and you spend it for some reason. That money is going to be taxed as ordinary income and potentially penalized if you're under the age of 59 and a half. And making sure that whatever choice you take, you keep that tax advantage status as long as possible is going to be the most beneficial thing that most people can do for themselves. Should you leave that old 401k where it is, move it to a new IRA, or take it to your new employer? That decision really comes down to your unique set of circumstances, which is one of the things that we work with people a lot on. So if you're interested, feel free to get in touch with us and we'll happily go through your situation with you, or download the free retirement checklist that we have. Please subscribe to the video and follow us for some more tips down the road.